I just wanted to show you a quick biscuit recipe that will really come in handy when you don't have time to make scratch biscuits and you don't have any other bread in the house and you need something for a meal right quick. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take a small iron skillet. It will depend on how many biscuits. These are stir and drop biscuits, and it depends on how many you need. But I'm just going to make about 6 or 8 biscuits, so I'm going to use a little butter to grease my skillet. This one must be about a 5-inch skillet that I'm using, and it's not hot. I'm using a cold skillet. We don't need it to be hot for our purposes today. And you take 1 cup of self-rising flour. I'm using Martha White self-rising flour in a medium-sized mixing bowl. And I have my favorite mayonnaise, which is Duke's mayonnaise. And I'm going to add 1 tablespoon. Now, it's a little bit heaping, but not a huge amount of mayonnaise that I'm putting in. And I'm going to stir that in just a little bit. Just stirring the mayonnaise and the flour together. And then I'm going to start adding a little milk. And what I'm using today is reduced fat. I think 2% milk. And I'm just going to pour a little bit. I must have poured about 1/4 of a cup in here. And I'm going to start stirring. What I want is a thick batter. It's not going to be thin or runny at all. It's going to be very thick. And these are all the ingredients that I'm going to use. So what I have is 1 cup of self-rising flour, a tablespoon, heaping tablespoon of mayonnaise of your choice. I wouldn't use salad dressing, but use mayonnaise. And then add just enough milk so that you have a thick batter. As a matter of fact, I think I just added a little bit too much milk, and that was only about 1/4 cup. So I'm going to add just the tiniest bit more flour because I want a stiffer batter. I never measure this. It just depends on how many biscuits I need. I just put a few tablespoons of flour into a bowl, add my mayonnaise, and then stir it up. So it's really only 3 ingredients if you don't count the butter. And you can use anything to grease your skillet with. You can use oil or bacon drippings or butter, and I use butter this time. So I wanted you to see how thick this batter is. It's very thick, and I'm just going to spoon it into the skillet. And we'll probably have 6 or 7 spoonfuls here that I'm dropping into my iron skillet. And it's going to be 7 biscuits that I'll get out of this. And you just drop them in. And I've got my oven preheated to 450 degrees. You want your oven to be hot. So I've got my 7 little biscuits. I'm going to add this last little bit. Last one. And so there they are in the skillet. And I'm just going to stick it in my hot oven. And it'll take 15 to 20 minutes for these biscuits to cook. Now, this is an old recipe that I'm using. There are other stir and drop recipes out there, but I really haven't looked at a lot of them. But somebody gave this recipe to my dad years ago. A man that he worked with told him, "You've got to try these mayonnaise biscuits because they're really good." So we'll see how they look in about 15 to 20 minutes. It's now been close to 20 minutes, 18 to be exact, and I think our biscuits are just about done. So we're going to take them out, and this is what they look like. They're nice and brown on the top, and they look really nice on the bottom. Like I said, this is a really quick little biscuit that you can do for times when you don't have bread and don't have time to make the biscuits from scratch. This little stir and drop mayonnaise biscuit is a nice recipe to have. So thanks for stopping by, and if you found this useful, please like and subscribe.